this time from DC Universe Classics Series 20, the last series in this line before it moves on to the title of DC Universe All-Stars. We're taking a look at the updated Green Arrow. This Green Arrow reflects his time sort of right before Brightest Day and the reset. So we're going to take a look at the back of the package here. Here are the biography and statistics. Very light on the statistics in this whole wave for some reason. You see a picture here of the character, the figure, other figures in this wave, and the Collect and Connect figure of Necron. And you can tell from the characters this is a Blackest Night, Brightest Day inspired wave. Looking at the figure here, he's pretty much a, brand new figure. I mean, it is certain parts of other figures I think that they've modified for the figure, but they've modified enough to be almost a new piece. His hands, I think, are pretty much the same hands as the previous Green Arrow. He does, unfortunately, have the same bow and arrow that all these archer figures come with, joined together. So I'm probably going to modify that the same way I modified the first one. And if you notice, the bow that he carries on the picture is slightly different. So I don't know why they didn't give us that bow. Very nice head sculpt and face. Very different color on the beard than the first one. It is actually the same face mold here, just painted slightly different. If you can take a look there. I think his beard is a little bit fuller than this one, it looks like. That's probably due to the mold reuse, but it seems to me to be... Oh no, wait, there is some sculpting of hair underneath there that is added. There's much more of a Robin Hood theme here going on with the hood instead of the hat. It's kind of neat. Gives it that forest man living look. He's got this nice detailed tunic. You can see sort of stitching on there. You can see stitching on the hood. Stitching on his gauntlets, as well as some small little arrows on each gauntlet. You see he's got a different quiver, a smaller, leaner quiver than the rectangular one. He's also got a knife sculpted into his tunic as well. He's got this little pouch here. His boots are pretty plain, but everything else is nice. Nice paint job on the figure. Nothing that I can see that is really too terrible. For articulation here, his head goes left and right, up and down. Oh yeah, I just want to mention that because of the way the hood is sculpted, you can tend to see things through it, and it gives that floating effect, but if you pose him another way, that's minimized, so you can still keep the illusion of a hood there. Make sure there's no light coming from behind him. But I'd rather have the posability than the joined hood. His arms go all the way around. Very nice, out and in. Rotate at the biceps. Bend at the elbows. He rotates and bends in his wrists so he can get some nice poses with the bow here. He is jointed for a ab articulation there, but it is very stiff. Oh, there he goes. Initially very stiff getting him going, but it does work. Waist, same, very stiff. His legs do go forward and back. They are kind of limited by the tunic here, but it's made of a nice soft rubbery plastic that it does get out of the way enough, even for getting his legs in and out. He does rotate at the thigh and bend at the knee, as well as at the ankles. Really, out of all the figures, this is kind of the newest looking out of all of them. He is kind of my favorite. I will give him the number 2 spot right now out of this wave. I've done Oliver Queen's bio. You can go back and look at my review of the other Green Arrow figure for his history. His first appeared in More Fun Comics number 73 back in 1941, and he really did play kind of a second fiddle to Batman, and whatever Batman needed, whatever Batman had, he needed to get. So Batman had a sidekick, the car, the cave. He was a millionaire playboy, and that did develop into a running joke, and not only in comics but in other media. His feature went from different books, from More Fun to Adventure to World's Finest, where there was a time that Jack Kirby worked on him, and then he was updated to be the liberal social crusader with Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams doing the artwork, and lost his fortune and went to discover America. You had the Longbow Hunters series. I think I did mention his death and his resurrection by the Spectre, who was at that time Hal Jordan. I think I mentioned pretty much everything up until the rise and fall of Arsenal and the JLA cry for justice. So that happened, and Roy had his arm cut off and relapsed to drugs, and then went nuts, swinging dead cats and killing people. So that really, Green Arrow couldn't take it anymore. So he hunted down Prometheus and killed him for what he did to not only Roy, but Star City. At that point, he kind of became a wanted man by the authorities and the Justice League, I guess. So he hid out in the forest that was created by the White Lantern on the destruction at Star City, and basically acted as sort of a guardian of the forest against people who were coming in to cut down trees or use it. That's what he did. until the Flashpoint occurrence and the reboot of the DC Universe into the New 52, where he's sort of become a little bit more like the Smallville Green Arrow. Hasn't really been winning over many people, as well as alienating some of the older Green Lantern fans. Green Arrow fans. So I guess that'll be it for Green Arrow. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be on the updated or corrected height Sinestro from the Sinestro Corps. And until my next video, I'll see you.